Amy, I hope you can do something about the food. It's not very good. What do you mean it's not very good? I'd like you to make better bread. They sell better ovens to bake bread nowadays. Fine then. I'll tell the housekeeper, Emanuela, about this. I am Amy Anderson, 35 years old, and currently a full-time FX trader working from home. I met my husband Eric, who is 2 years older than me, at my previous job. When we first met, we worked for a small mail order company. He was in the pet food department, and I was in the cosmetics department answering customer phone calls. Our company habitually flouted labor regulations, so we worked overtime every day, often getting home late. We always looked forward to going out for a drink once a week after overtime with a group of coworkers. Despite our high salaries from overtime, we had little time to enjoy it, and our weekly outings were a welcome escape. I started dating Eric, who was part of that group, and we got married 3 years ago. I quit my job when we got married and stayed home for a while before looking for a job I could do from home. I came across FX trading, bought numerous books, gathered information online, and studied extensively before diving into it. It took time and effort to become profitable, but I eventually developed my own trading style and started earning consistently. I even bought a computer specifically for FX trading, opened a trading account, and practiced with demo trades and small amounts initially. However, my in-laws, Nicholas and Julia, who now live with us, don't understand my work. Nicholas retired last year, and they were living in municipal housing. Eric invited them to live with us in our 3-bedroom apartment, thinking it would be difficult for them to live on their pension alone. I pay the rent for the apartment, and ever since I started earning money through FX trading, I have covered all the living expenses. Dad, Mom, Amy will take care of the living expenses too, so feel free to do whatever you like, Eric assured them. Thank you, Amy. That is very kind of you, they responded gratefully. And that's how I started living with Eric's parents. I don't do any housework myself. My housekeeper, Emanuela, handles all the household chores, including cooking, which has been a great help. This arrangement allows me to focus on studying FX trading and blogging about how to make money with it. However, Nicholas and Julia are not pleased with this setup. Initially, they were polite and thankful, but after 2 months, they started questioning the point of having a wife who stays at home and doesn't do any household chores, calling FX trading a form of gambling. They nag Eric about it, although they don't say it directly to me. With Eric no longer paying rent or living expenses, he has become more flamboyant, always wearing custom-made suits, high-brand bags, and shoes. He loves fashion and enjoys spending money on it, so he defended me against his parents' complaints about my work. Recently, though, Eric's attitude has changed. Hey, Amy, you're always in front of the computer. You don't wear any makeup, and you only wear sweatshirts. Isn't that too plain and boring? He asked. Do I really need to put on makeup and get dressed up when I'm just staying at home, not going out? I responded. That may be fine for you, but it's not good enough for me, he said. Wait a minute, what do you mean by not good enough for you? Are you saying that just because I'm not dressing up, I'm not good enough for you? That's right. Don't you ever want to dress up for me to be more attractive to you? Attractive to you? What are you talking about? I asked, bewildered. I need to dress up for you to be attracted to me? I asked, stunned by Eric's words. Since that conversation, my husband Eric started complaining about me to Nicholas and Julia. One day after dinner, as I was about to go to the bathroom, I overheard their conversation from the living room. Amy, what is always up with her? Eric asked. She makes fun of us, doesn't she? Always makes us feel bad, Nicholas replied. That's right, that wife of yours is making fun of us. She thinks we're poor because we lived in municipal housing, Julia added. Yes, I feel that way too. And the fact that she doesn't do any household chores is her way of saying she's different from us. She's just gambling to make money, and she's so bossy about it, Eric continued. Anyone can do FX trading. Even Amy just studied a little on her own and soon started earning $80,000 every month, Nicholas said. I can do it too, Eric asserted. You're right, Eric, you can do it too. I don't like how she's bossy and arrogant when she's just making money by gambling and not working hard for it. Anyone can do what she is doing. Besides, she's not even cute. I always wonder who she thinks she is, Julia said. I worked from home, but Eric and I used to have breakfast together before he left for work. He still worked at the same company we used to work for, so he came home pretty late. Breakfast should have been our time together, but Eric started avoiding it, saying, "Oh, I'll just eat breakfast on the way." Seeing Eric act this way, Julia commented sarcastically, Eric is getting tired of you because you don't even fulfill your duties as a wife. That's what you get, Amy. What do you mean by duties as a wife, Julia? If you're talking about household chores, hasn't Emanuela done them perfectly? Nowadays, what you so-called duties as a wife are outdated, I retorted. Outdated. We cherish the good old customs in our family. Your grandmother-in-law used to discipline me a lot, Julia replied. What do you mean by discipline? Isn't it enough if the household chores are done well? I'm paying Emanuela enough for it, I said. Do you think this is about money? Do you think that if you bring up the subject of money, I will shut up? Just because you are paying for all our living expenses, you shouldn't be bossy and arrogant about it, Julia snapped. Despite her words, Julia seemed to enjoy socializing with her peers in the apartment building, buying expensive high-end brand bags with the money saved from not paying for their own living expenses. Nicholas, too, devoted his pension to his hobby of golf, purchasing new clubs and keeping a golf bag at the front door. I am the one who is covering and paying for the rent and all of their living expenses. What is up with these people? Even though I question their behavior and attitude towards me, my parents-in-law had nowhere else to live, so I just put up with them for now. About a month after Eric stopped eating breakfast with me, his number of business trips increased. Eric said he was in charge of starting up a new department at the company and was thinking of importing LEDs from Korea, so his trips to Korea became more frequent. That weekend, too, he went on a business trip to Korea. Since my husband was away, I went out for dinner with Lily, a friend of mine from school, at a fancy Italian restaurant. I had been to this restaurant with Eric before, and there I saw Eric, who was supposed to be on a business trip to Korea. Lily and I were having lunch on the terrace, drinking wine and in a good mood when Lily said, "Hey Amy, isn't that your husband Eric?" When I turned around and looked inside the restaurant, I saw a woman and my husband leaving the restaurant. Oh wait, maybe I have mistaken. That is not Eric, right? Because he is supposed to be on his business trip to Korea, Lily said, trying to cheer me up. But it was obviously my husband Eric. Every time Eric said he was going on a business trip to Korea, he was actually spending the weekend with another woman. The woman with him was a petite, cute-looking woman who appeared to be in her early 20s, much younger than Eric, who is 37 years old. I recalled Eric saying, "Don't you want me to be attracted to you?" It seems certain that my husband was definitely cheating on me. So the next day, Monday, I immediately requested an affair investigation by a professional investigator. Recently, I've been receiving more and more packages addressed to Julia at home. Julia, did you buy something again? Be quiet, Amy. Do I need your permission to buy anything? No, that's not what I am saying. Julia seemed to be addicted to online shopping, buying high-end brand bags and jewelry. I worried because there are many fake high-end brand bags sold online. One day, Julia came into the room where I was working and said, "Hey Amy, I'd like you to take a look at something." "What is it?" "Just come here." I had no choice but to follow her. In the living room, she was opening a package that had just been delivered. I bought 5 bags. They were cheap as a bundle, so I bought them. When I looked at the bags, they seemed to be fake. Julia, you should be very careful buying things online because there's a high chance they might be fake, especially high-end brand bags and jewelry. Julia had paid $5,000 for the fake bags. The mail order site was well designed and didn't look like a scam at first glance, but the prices were unreasonably low. Julia paid by bank transfer, so there was no way to stop it with her credit card company, and the cooling off period policy was well stated, so she wasn't eligible for a refund. Julia, you have to be careful about fakes when you're buying high-end brand goods online. If the price is unusually low, it's likely a fake. You have to really think it through and not jump on it just because it's cheap. Don't make it sound like I don't know what I was doing, Amy. No, it's not that. It's just you wasted $5,000 on fake bags. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Since talking didn't help, I went back to my room and continued working. After dinner on Sunday, Nicholas suddenly told me to stop doing FX trading. The previous Saturday, Nicholas went golfing with a friend from his former workplace, where he heard about Forex trading and said, "I heard that Forex trading is a scam. Amy, are you making money by scamming people?" "What? No, I'm not scamming anyone. I'm just trading currencies. How do you make money with FS trading? Scammers lure people in by saying they won't lose money, which is what I heard from my friend." "Are you scamming people, Amy?" "No, I'm not making or luring people to invest in anything. I just blog about Forex for those interested. There's no scamming involved." "I see you using social networks. That's what scammers use to trick people." "No, I'm just sharing helpful information. There's no scam here." "You think you can fool me because I don't know anything about computers?" "No, I'm not fooling or scamming you. Dad thinks you're scamming because it seems too easy for you to make money, Amy." "It's not easy money, Eric. I've explained this many times. It's not that easy. You studied a bit and now make a lot of money. It must be easy. Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass at work, starting a new department." "Eric, I thought you supported my FX trading. Do you want me to stop? If I do, what happens to the payments? We won't even be able to afford the rent." "I can pay the rent myself." Since I'm the full-time FX trader, Eric and his family have been able to live the way they do now. But my in-laws don't appreciate that and just complain about me being an FX trader. The next day, I received the results of the investigation regarding Eric's infidelity. He was definitely cheating on me with a 25-year-old woman, 12 years younger than him, who worked with him and had joined the company after I left. She accompanied Eric on his business trips to Korea. After receiving the results, I contemplated what to do. That same day, Emanuela cooked dinner for us, and as she was leaving, Julia started to speak. "Amy, we had a conversation, Nicholas, Eric, and I, and we don't like everything about you. We will live on our own, and I want you to leave." Eric had not yet returned from work. "We don't want to be supported by the money you made from your scams. I don't like the way you act like you know everything. We've talked this over with Eric and decided. Amy, I'm going to ask you to leave." I felt this was the right thing to do. The fact that my husband wasn't even here showed he no longer had any feelings for me. There was no reason for me to take care of these people. I packed my bags and moved to a hotel. The divorce was finalized shortly after. Since I discovered Eric was cheating, I filed for alimony. I rented a one-bedroom apartment suitable for one person and moved in. I changed the lease of the apartment where I lived with Eric to his name. About 4 months later, I received a call from Eric. He wanted to talk and said he would come to my current apartment. When he arrived, Nicholas and Julia were with him. I had a bad feeling. "Amy, we are very sorry. We apologize for our horrible behavior. Please live with us again," Eric said apologetically. Nicholas and Julia hurriedly started apologizing too. "What is this?" I asked. Eric, looking down, started to explain. "We can't afford the $40,000 rent and are about to be evicted. We have nowhere to go. Please help us, Amy." "What on earth are you saying?" Eric explained that right after I left, his new department of importing and selling LEDs turned out to be a failure. The Korean manufacturer delivered defective products, and Eric couldn't return them because he didn't understand the contract well. He was fired, and in an attempt to make money, he bought a computer to become a full-time Forex trader but failed miserably. Nicholas and Julia also failed in their investment attempts. They couldn't pay the rent and had no money to move out, so Eric came to beg for help. "We are already divorced." Eric: "Yes, I know, but help us please. What happened to your pretty girlfriend who was 12 years younger than you? When I got fired, I couldn't get in touch with her anymore." "Yeah, why would someone stay with a guy who got fired from his job?" "Amy, you're all I have left. Let's get remarried and have another chance." "That's right, Amy. We realized we were wrong. We are very sorry. Please give us another chance," Nicholas and Julia echoed. "No way, Eric." "Amy, don't say that. I'm sorry. I'll never cheat on you again." "That's right, Amy. Eric will never cheat on you again. Yes, let's all be a family again." "No way in hell. If you persist, I will call the police." Eric and his parents tried to persuade me, but when I repeatedly threatened to call the police, they finally left. I couldn't believe them. My ex-husband called twice after that to ask me to get back together, but I refused. I don't know what happened to Eric, Nicholas, and Julia. nor do I care. After being home alone and working as a trader, I decided it was time to start dating again. When I told my friend Lily, she said she would introduce me to someone. I'm meeting Lily and her friend tomorrow. I am looking forward to it and my new beginning.